Yeah, it's already starting to remind him. This we need to push down. And note how here we're gonna have volume over there, and then that folding more like so. Um, just work in some other places so I can have my eyes distracted and not overlook just one part. Trying to make this part thinner just as the reference. I'm not really sure about this angle. Let's have a closer look. Yeah, it looks like it's more. I have to push that form. Mm, not really sure about it, but the structure is closer, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pushing this overall volume there and trying to make this part of this skin more thin. I also like to see and compare into this other side. I'm feeling that maybe we have the zygomatic too much pronounced. Yeah, look how different is the silhouette in this angle. That's nice. And let's have a closer look in the zygomatic part, the zygomatic region that I think is still very different from our reference. And also let me correct just a little bit his nose, that curvature, because it's making some trouble there. Good. So what I would try to copy is these breaks. Why my line is too thick? Let me change that. Let's see. No, I want even thinner. Good. Let's try to copy these lines and try to make this shape closer to what I have here. All right. I'm using the dam standard brush in a bigger size, like this. Compare where it starts by the ending of nose. Maybe around this line. So all this region here I can remove the volume, so I make this. If I remove the perspective, I'm gonna be able to better see this region. And so also I have to cut here in two parts, and I think mine is too big yet. And note how when we subdivide the forms we can easier perceive this difference in the with the reference. Yeah, we are getting closer. Because of this, it's so important to stay locked to one specific reference you want. You're always gonna need to search around and look at other angles, but it's so important to keep your focus in just one specific reference when it comes to likeness, because everything is there. You just have to slow down your perception, and you can be you can copy what you see without processing. I think the bigger mistake when looking at some reference is to over process what your perception is seeing. So we have to take care on this, and remember that I always like to not stay too much time in a specific region. And keep all the time traveling my eyes along the reference and my model, just comparing, just as if I was doing that game. I actually didn't remember the 7 difference. I don't remember. It's a childhood game that I used to play. Okay, that's nice. I think that maybe this side here is more on likeness already than the other, but we are getting on. We still didn't work at nothing on this region, but for this part here, not really sure, but I think we are pretty good so far. I'm still working in the overall volume at these 2 regions, and always checking my perception, and not how I don't over smooth the forms. Sometimes I like to keep it simple, and I like to keep my strokes, and because of this I always like to work with lower intensity. This way I can leave this nice skin looking, not so smooth, but with some variations that is quite normal for the skin behavior. I'm always alternating with the standard brush and then standard brush. Always trying to figure out my perception of the gray and the shadows, you know. It's all about shadows, and lighting. It's all about volume. When some part is too much lighter, you have to push it down, and when some part is too much dark, you have to put some mask on it. When you start to think this way, you start to read better the lighting information and use these breakup lines to guide yourself, your perception. Note how I'm always trying to work following the reference lines. And trying to copy the gradient. If I have some part that is too much light, I work on its volume. And all the time I try to do the same, but knowing the anatomical ways, the anatomical structure, I can easily guide myself to add or remove volume on where I'm working. I'm mixing the informations that I'm seeing with the informations that I know in anatomy. So once I know where each part should be with good volume or not, I can better understand what the reference is telling me and copy that in an easier way. Now I think it's time to work a little bit more with his chin. And don't be scared with these them strokes, these pointy lines. Sometimes it starts to work this way, but you go there and smooth around. Move brush and them standard brushes are quite the mainly brushes that I use most of the time. Yeah, I think we are getting closer and closer and closer. Always traveling along the model, and note how I'm fixed into one specific um, specific angle of my reference, and I keep on it. It's always easier for you to stay into this main reference and better understand what is happening on the anatomical way of each part, each volume. Each region. um, yeah, we are getting closer. This is not so correct. I think we're gonna need to work a little bit more to this part. Maybe adding more volume here. Getting it down this way. Yeah, that's nice. I'm gonna erase this one and try to have the same same shape drawing. Yeah, I think it's there. And then with standard brush I can add more volume to that part. Mm. So I'll double check on the light places, the light shapes. Once again, my screen drawer is thicker. Let's go back. Checking the distance and the shapes, the lights and shadows. Yeah. So there, let's continue.